guys, I'm back, but I'm gonna have to wait until you guys join. I don't know what the internet is up to, honestly. This really really is disappointing. I'm gonna wait for you guys to join in. Let's see if it works this time. If it doesn't, then I may have to postpone it for another time, or maybe in the evening. Okay, if you've joined, just say hi. If you've joined, just say hi. And if you were there on the previous one, just let me know what the last thing was that I said, so that I can pick up from there, because I don't know when it froze, guys. I was yapping all along, thinking that you guys can hear me. If you have joined, please show by sending a message. If you have joined, please just drop a message. Okay, Men with Sense says, good morning, everyone. I hope you're all having an excellent day so far. Thank you so much, Men with Sense. It's actually the second time coming back. The first time the internet froze on me, for some reason. So I don't know where we were at. But I remember it could have been when I was talking about the Black Friday promo that we have for Proud Mary. Maybe we have a 45% Black Friday promo for Proud Mary. Hey, Petty. Okay, so if you guys can hear me, that's fine. Then I can keep talking. Okay, we have a 45% Black Friday sale for Proud Mary, and now it's available internationally. We partnered with My US, right? And now we are definitely selling off, except for just 300 that I said I want to stay in the warehouse for as long as possible, because as a flagship fragrance, I would love for it to be available on the website from time to time. Even as we release second, third, fifth, 10th fragrance, I would love this to, stay on the website. But because we only made 2,500 bottles of it, I've had to make a decision to say, okay, we're just gonna put aside, let's say 300. These we're not gonna touch for the time span that we're going to be selling on Macedon perfumes, or for the longest time. Now, honestly, there is a chance of this fragrance entirely running out, because the ones we're going to put later are, as I said, let's say on the second release and stuff, we're going to make sure that the website has a couple of them from time to time. But the plan is to sell off, right? And we were holding on selling off because we hadn't actually clinched the international shipping, which now we have. And the good thing is we've figured out international shipping just in time for Black Friday. So we have a 45% to anyone who may be, intending to purchase this. It's a double discount. You use C15, which is going to knock off 15% using my code. And then on the website, you're going to get the fragrance off at 30%. So combined, it's going to be 45%. And it's for Black Friday through Cyber Monday. Now, today we have a haul, which is the Maison Alhambra fragrances that I've added to my collection. These fragrances I didn't see at Beauty World. If I had seen them at Beauty World, maybe I wasn't going to add them to my collection, but they were not there at Beauty World. So I'm just going to give you my thoughts on the Maison Alhambras I've added. Before the last live cut, we were on Queenstown, okay, Perfume. And it says, this one says intense, okay? And I think I had actually clued you up on the intense bit of this is not really, that it's not as what it's supposed to be, because when you get a fragrance that says intense, sometimes you expect it to be beastly. So this does not give me beastly, immediately. This is a gentle, fruity scent, okay? It does have the florals, which is that heliotrope, and it does have the citruses, which is that lemon note, okay? The lemon and the blood orange. And the two citruses in this fragrance, this particular Queenstown, have been used as a hook line, all right? Where citruses in most fragrances are used as a hook line. And what do I mean by that? They're used as a hook line to get your senses excited to wear the fragrance. But they are volatile, right? They do not hold up the fragrance or hold up for that long. So the citrus in this is going to be a burst, right? Which is the opening, introducing that lemon as well as the blood orange. So the citruses are going to be sweetened, but then immediately you then get into the florals, which is a gentle jasmine, a very light, gentle jasmine. And then you get the cherry and the heliotrope. And the heliotrope in this is nutty, okay? It's more of a nutty heliotrope than, you know, a very floral style of or then it adds a floralness. So there's going to be a nutty almondy mid in this. It's going to hold on to a cherry. The cherry in this is not boozy. However, if you are one of those that have used a lot of cherry scented fragrances, the one cherry that is going to remind you of the way it's done is going to be more in line with how the cherry is done in BDK's Rouge Smoking. But some are going to say they get a little bit of lost cherry in this. This particular fragrance draws inspiration off of that Dolce & Gabbana Queen. Okay, than it does these other fragrances that I've given you as an example. I just gave you an example of lost cherry as in because I do get a cherry accord in this fragrance. So it may be one of those that will remind you of lost cherry or will remind you of, you know, that BDK Rouge Smoking. Sort of like a tease, more of Rouge Smoking than maybe lost cherry, if I may put it that way, where Rouge Smoking has got that underlying tease of a cherry note. Okay, that's what you're going to get in this, but ultimately becoming a nutty fruity scent. It's light, okay, and D&G in itself, the Queen, D&G Queen has got a regular one and an intense one. In this they've said intense, so I'm not sure whether this is in, you know, the word intense here they have just thrown there, or they really mean it's the intense one, because I'm getting a lightly scented, you know, fragrance in this. It is feminine to my nose by stereotype, right? Remember, in the fragrance community, we did say you wear what you want to wear. So when I say by stereotype, I am saying for the longest time in fragrances, we've had scents that have been known to be feminine because maybe they're fruity, they're sweet, they're crowd pleasing, they're fun, and then we get them a little bit more serious, like citrusy, green, bean fragrances that are classed as masculine. Okay, so I'm saying stereotype in that regard, that this is going to be favored, no brainer, especially by the ladies out there. But because in fragrances, after the niche releases and the way fragrances became an art, we do agree that you wear what you want to wear. Carrie Brownman, Carrie-Ann Bowman says, my experience with Maison Alhambra is it gets stronger with time. Yes, a lot of Maison Alhambras, as long as they sit, if you let them sit there, they do develop to better fragrances. So I am not writing this one off. But I'm just cluing you up. If you are into beast mode fragrances and you say, oh, because it's intense, it's going to be beast mode. I do not get beast mode, guys, in Queenstown, but I do Queenstown. I get a likable fragrance, a crowd-pleasing fragrance, something that you can pick for anyone who pretty much loves fragrances for a Christmas gift. And you know, Maison Alhambra fragrances are on the affordable side. So thank you, Baima. You know, this hair keeps getting into my, that's why I actually wore a hat, you know, with this hair. It keeps, you know, getting in the way. So that's it, guys, for this one. What I am doing these days is when I get enough time, I will do the live, but I will also do the long form content for some people that may not have the time for the live. Now, another one that I added to my collection because of the bottle, this was more to do with the bottle than anything else, is Eclat de Lune. They have given us one Eclat before, so I was wondering whether they had repackaged that or this was going to be new altogether. And the good thing is this smells nothing like the other Eclat that they gave us, which was a clone of a Page Eclat something. This is not like that. First Eclat was a tea-scented scent, green, leafy, that sort of thing. This one has nothing in common with that. Above says, what's the best fruity sweet fragrance for men that doesn't cause headaches. Okay, best fruity for men. Best fruity for men. Mama just said Proud Mary. Okay, I'm trying to think best fruity for men that doesn't cause headaches. Latafa has got a couple of fruity scents, okay? Namely, you know, when I get questions like that, I get like a brain freeze. Fruity, and for men, I can see the red one from Latafa Rela, okay? Was it? I think. Yeah, or yes, or Bellalude Sublime. Exactly. That's a nice fruity one. It has Bellalude, as in most of us know it as Bedi Al Oud. Okay, the line that they made the Oud for Greatness clone. It has one called Bellalude Sublime. That's a red one. That's a nice fruit, spicy, or a nice fruity apple in spices. Perfect for men. If you love fruity fragrances, you're gonna love that. Okay. Yes, yes. And Maima says any lost cherry inspiration. Perfect. Says Latafa Assad. Yeah, Latafa Assad. Yes, Latafa Assad could work, but it pulls a little bit green. So I do not get like vivid fruitiness and fun fruitiness. And yes, I'm getting a lot of suggestions. D says Valencia. Yes, Valencia by Swiss Arabian. That will always be one of my favorites. So yes, you could get Valencia. Valencia incorporates, what fruit is in Valencia? I'm trying to think. Is it pear or plum? But it's a nice fruity one. Okay. Anyway, Eclat de Lune is this one from Maison Alhambra. So this I bought primarily because of the bottle. Okay. We've seen a lot of bottles out there. This one was just interesting to me. It was the bottle and me not being able to even guess what it's going to smell like. I was thinking, okay, is this going to be a freshie or what? Now, here are my thoughts on Eclat de Lune, okay, and this is by Maison Alhambra, and as I said, we didn't see these at Beauty World, so I got them and I said I'm going to do a live and, you know, tell you guys my thoughts. Now, Eclat de Lune to me feels like a twist to L'Interdit, okay? A twist to L'Interdit where it shares a lot in common, a lot of notes in common with that L'Interdit. The opening of this is going to give you that black currant and the zinginess of the bergamot, okay? So it's going to open on the citrusy side, but the citrusiness in this doesn't push it to crisp, right? So because sometimes when we get citruses in fragrances, they tend to make a fragrances then crispy, fizzy, summery, that sort of thing. This does not give crispy in the citrusness. It's actually like a sour rind citrusy feel of a bergamot, and that black currant interprets almost like the bud of the black currant than the actual fruit in itself. So it has like a sourness there, you know, at the top, and then the orange blossom. Now the orange blossom in this fragrance adds sort of like a powdery accord, even a detergenty feel, just a little bit off. And then we get into that tuberose that I immediately starts to remind me of L'Interdit in this fragrance. However, the tuberose in this is done almost in a similar style as the tuberose in Michael Kors by Michael Kors. If you love the tuberose, the way it's done in the discontinued Michael Kors by Michael Kors, that's how this tuberose in this interprets. However, yes, this is similar in many ways to L'Interdit. If you're looking for a fragrance in that style of L'Interdit, this is certainly going to do it for you, okay? And this has fun aspects to it than L'Interdit in itself. L'Interdit to me sometimes, especially the regular one, has a pushiness about it, like a powdery, pushy growness about it that I do not like, you know, that much. Whereas this one feels like a twist and a one-on-one. Maybe some of you guys will see it as a one-on-one, but this to me is giving me more of a twist, okay, than it is a one-on-one. And another thing about this fragrance that I like or whatever they did in this that I like is, remember we got a La Inter D or Lente D inspiration from Latafa, which is the sister company to this, in faja, the regular faja, not the gold one, not the black one, the very first one that I came with here, I think about 5 or 6 years ago, and I couldn't stand that fragrance, right? I couldn't stand that fragrance at all, yet this I love. Okay, so this is going to have a little bit of a grown appeal to it, because remember I said it's sour and it's got that orange blossom. It's going to be a little bit grown, but if you love Lente D, you're going to get wafts of Lente D in this, and it's going to be interesting because it does give you a couple of pages. So yeah, guys, that's a Clark June. This I feel both genders can wear, okay, because of how the tuberose is done in this and that orange blossom. This could very well be a unisex fragrance, but Lente D in itself has gone around as a popular fragrance amongst the women, okay, and this is going to be more in line with the regular one, which is the not the intense one, okay, the regular one. So if you love that, you're going to love this, guys. Also remember that when we do lives, right, in the beginning of the video, I'm now doing lives as well as long form content. The reason why I wasn't doing lives all this while is, morning Charlotte, thank you for joining the live. Petty, I'm glad you love Lente D. Maima says hello, that's her, she's moderating the live. Please remember to like and share the live. And then we got Pepperminty says hi, thank you so much. Please remember to like the live, share the live, that way it goes to many people. I was saying the reason why I wasn't doing lives that much is on YouTube, if you are not sponsored, that is, if you're not getting fragrances regularly via PR and you're having to buy them yourself, long form content works better because that long form content is monetized immediately. Now with lives, you don't get that. You do get monetized, but it doesn't equate to the monetization of the regular video. Why? Because YouTube cannot monetize what they don't know you're gonna say, so the whole 1 hour or 2 hours that you be on the live, it's not monetized. It's only monetized after, when they check and all that, and sometimes that after is already too late. So it's already too late in terms of getting you, enough adverts and stuff like that. So the lives, the lives utilize mostly what we call super thanks on this platform. Super thanks, super chat, super stickers. That is the viewers gifting the viewers gifting whoever is on the channel. So we have super thanks, we have super chat, we have super stickers. Any of those you can purchase at any amount, and that then gifts the creator. Because as I said, when Petty Brown says hi, Maima, as I said, with lives, they are not as monetized as regular content, because, and granted, YouTube cannot just monetize. They don't know what you're coming here to say, so they don't just monetize. It's actually the people that you're speaking to on the live that can support the channel by hitting super thanks, super chat, or super stickers. So yes, guys, that's a Eclat Ladoon. If you have any, that's like Eclat Daloon. If you have any questions on this fragrance, you can ask as I move on to the next one. If you have any questions that you'd like to ask, I will revisit, because that is why we are on the live, right? The next one is Luxe Emerald. This series of Maison Alhambra is drawing inspiration of the Bond number 9 fragrances. Now, with fragrances that are inspiration, guys, you need to also understand that they may not be of the same exact quality in terms of ingredients and everything. However, what smeller likes do, or inspirations do, is they're a good guide for your nose to know whether you can actually purchase the real thing. I have always been, of the notion that if you can afford the real thing, support the real thing. That's what I've always said, because fragrance in itself is an art, right? However, it's not everyone that has the coin to spare for the real thing. While they may want want to smell good. So inspirations are good in that regard, and they will give you somewhat of a representation. But that's not to take away the artistry of the real thing. There's always going to be twists there. I have some inspirations that I absolutely love, but will still buy the original thing because I still feel the differences. An example of that is in this one that I bought not so long ago, Devotion, Intense. I remember when I was with Mima, Manolia Dolphin says, love your take on inspiration. Thank you so much. I appreciate. And says, sense of the day is French Avenue Pina. Yes. Oh, I love French Avenue. They're onto something. They have that honey one that I cannot wait to purchase, because that one it's nectar something that I smelled at Beauty World and I kept going back to it. I was hoping I was going to get it in PR. I didn't, but I am hunting for it. It's not yet in my country. As soon as I get it, I will bring it here for you guys. So back to the inspirations. Yes, inspirations, guys, will give you a representation or somewhat of an idea of what to expect, in the real thing. And I was saying I bought D&G Devotion despite having more than 5 inspirations of it. And all those inspirations, to my nose, are also different in one way or the other. The best inspiration that nailed it for me when it came to the D&G Devotion DNA is that Afnan Delicious Bouquet. Now, we went in a fragrance shop in Dubai with Mima to buy fragrances. And I went straight and said, can I have Devotion? Can I have La Vie Belle, it's the musk one, the one that comes in a pink bottle, and a couple of other ones. And Mima looked at me and said, but why would you want that? And I said, believe me, Mima, I can still smell the differences. Okay, so when we talk of inspirations, this is not trying to rubbish anybody's business by pushing, smell-alikes. It's at the end of the day, the decision is entirely up to the wearer. And as I said, I do have inspirations that I absolutely love, but will still buy, the real thing because I feel the difference nonetheless. So yeah, this is Luxe Emerald. Okay, Luxe Emerald. This is off the Maison Alhambra line that draws inspiration of the Bond number 9s. Now this one, guys, Manolia said, my Creed Aventus is very great, but my Club de Nuit is way better. Yes, sometimes inspirations are better. To be honest, sometimes the inspiration twists, have this thing that feels way, way better to the nose. Now, this, guys, is outright going to have something in common with BR 540, okay, but it's not a Baccarat Rouge 540 clone. It just has that sweetness that you get in Baccarat Rouge 540, okay, but it has a magnolia. It has a magnolia, and this one from the Bond number 9s draws inspiration of Bond number 9, Bond number 9, Bond number 9, Bond Street something. I'm trying to think. Street something. Oh my God, I hate it when Greenwich Village. Sorry, guys. There's so many Bond number 9s that I had a brain freeze there. So this is going to be their take on Greenwich Village, okay? But simply put, instead of yapping and going on and on, Greenwich Village has got that sugar thing that you get in the BR 540. Some people will argue from now until next year, also a clone of BR5. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Manolia Lollipop. She has just gifted me $2 off. Super thanks. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the support. And that's what I was explaining, that with lives, it's more to do with the viewers gifting than actually being paid by YouTube, because yes, of course, in YouTube's defense, you don't know what somebody is saying in the live, so they cannot monetize what they do not know. So super thanks, super chat, super stickers is what works most when we are doing lives, and those can still be utilized even after the live. So yeah, guys, this is their take on Greenwich Village. If you're looking for something that's going to smell like Greenwich Village, if you're looking for something sweet, let's say for instance you've never smelled Greenwich Village, if you're looking for something sweet, this one lists the note of grapefruit, if I'm not mistaken, but it's not so much on the citrusy side. It's more on the sugary, waxy side, you know. Shy florals that do not really get to communicate distinctly what they are, but yes, it does have, you know, some florals there. So yeah, that is, you know, the long and short story when it comes to Luxe Emerald. This, to my nose, again, is unisex, so both men and women can use this, no worries. And it is a fragrance that's going to suit all occasions. But because I have likened it to BR540, remember BR540 is notorious for playing a disappearing act on the wearer. So this is a fragrance that, having sprayed it like this, I may perceive it, you know, in its boldness, or it might completely vanish and I cannot smell it. But that's not to say the people around me cannot smell it, okay? This is, to my nose, a good one. I have smelled a clone of Greenwich Village from Albatania, and I can say outright, I still have that one. I can say outright, this one knocks it off immediately. I love this one more. And I decluttered two from this range, which I regret to this minute. If I'm able to get them again, I'm going to add them. Okay, one was a Nolita smell-alike, was Luxe Blanc or something like that. Was a Nolita smell-alike. Oh, D, thank you so much. You just gifted me with $10. Thank you, D. I appreciate. I don't take this for granted. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate. Thank you. Thank you for gifting the live. Thank you for utilizing super thanks. I appreciate that. Manolia Dolphin said, have you tried Wildcard Games of Spades? Not yet. I haven't tried that one, but you know me, I'm a frag head. Once I get it, I will certainly bring it here. Thank you, D. Thank you, Manolia. Thank you. I do appreciate, guys. I do appreciate, because these fragrances I purchased with my own money. And if you watched the last haul I brought to you here, I did mention that when it comes to PR, you know, you do get PR from some, you don't get PR from some, especially if you are very open-minded. And I guess, you know, every company may be skeptical to say, oh, what if we give this person and they say they don't like it? So I have no problem with receiving PR. I will receive PR anytime, and I'm happy to receive PR anytime because it saves my pocket. But at the same time, being a person that's always going to say it like it is, trust me, I'm not right there at the top when it comes to those they want to give PR sometimes, just because of that. Are you in the United States? No, I'm not in the United States. I'm actually in South Africa. The company Macedon Perfumes, right? Our company Macedon Perfumes, this one, is located in the United States. It was established in the United States because my partner is in the United States. So yeah, I should be coming to the United States anytime soon for the company and everything else. We are going to have a launch, an official launch, once we have maybe a second or third. We'll see how that works out. Charlotte says, I prefer Joe Malone's version of Nolita. Wow. Oh, Joe Milano. Which one is that? Joe Milano's version of Nolita. I've seen Joe Milano's on Joma Shop. Never ever even sniffed one, trust me. And I would love to get leads on which ones work from that house, because I've seen them. They're very affordable. They also have gift sets, so I wouldn't mind, you know, purchasing them. Lariska, thank you so much for joining the live. I appreciate. She says, ma'am, you look stunning today. Thank you for bringing us great content. I appreciate Lariska. Lariska is in South Africa. She's also into fragrances. She's big on TikTok in terms of rolling out content on TikTok. So you can support Lariska if you're on TikTok. She said she was going to open a YouTube channel. If you have, go let them know so that you can get support as well. Charlotte says Queen of Spades. Okay, gonna take note. Queen of Spades, Joe Milano, Maima is gonna write that. Shalon said they also have a Tribeca as well. Oh, okay. I had no clue. Just flow. Oh, happy day. I catch you. Hi, live. I see. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. Just feel. Thank you for joining the live. Remember to hit the like, hit the share button. Greetings from Switzerland, she says. Thank you so much. And yes, we now have international shipping for Proud Mary. We have it off 45% on Black Friday. 45% off on Black Friday through Cyber Monday, and now you can get it internationally. Guys, we were holding off some bottles of this fragrance so that we're able to at least have some to be sold internationally. We didn't want it to sell out in the United States, and now we have partnered with My US, so you can grab yourself a bottle of Proud Mary, and Proud Mary is my creation. This is this is after 7 years of reviewing fragrances on YouTube. So I'd very much appreciate to hear your thoughts on Proud Mary. Just for said, oh no, I've read that. Manolia said Joe Malone's Joe Milano. I don't know why I keep saying Joe Malone. Joe Milano fragrances are fire. Thank you. You have just made me curious. I will get. You're from Mississippi. Thank you. Oh, nice. Nice to join. Nice that you're joining from Mississippi, Manolia. I will get a gift set of Joe Milano. I've seen those, but I didn't know, much about the brand because they don't advertise that much. But I saw Radio Lessons talk about them the other day, and I was like, oh, okay. I'm going to bring those fragrances to you guys here if you want to hear my thoughts on them. Charlotte said Tribeca is Game of Spades Royale. Okay, both are close to the OGs. Okay, Maima is going to screenshot that so that I can reference it later because the comments do not stay after the live. Lady Sonny says, well done. Well, thank you so much, Lady Sonny. Love you to bits. Thank you for the support. The missing tile says, you cute lady. Thank you so much. Okay, now next up we have Luxe Journey. Now, Luxe Journey is not a new fragrance like off the whole. I did bring this one to you a couple of months ago, and I said I was going to come back to you with it to tell you how far it has gone, all right, in terms of development. If I had known, I wouldn't have decluttered the Luxe Blanc and the other one that drew inspiration of Nolita. I do regret now because I thought I could declutter those and get the other variations and they were going to be better. But my choices are so limited in terms of how the scent profiles are working. I'm talking about these Born Number 9 inspirations. Now, this Luxe Journey, let me tell you what it's doing now, okay? This Luxe Journey is new. If you watch the full review, this is just a follow-up, okay? Manolia said, I need to go into therapy. I have 80 plus fragrances and counting. You know what? The fragrances, I do agree with you there, but I find that fragrances themselves are therapy, to me at least, and with me, it wasn't even like, the time when we had the virus was going around. It wasn't about that. I'd always loved fragrances, but I didn't know why. There was just this thing that fragrances would wrap me around in the sort of comfort zone that I get from fragrances and stuff. And when the virus hit and I started collecting more and more, to me personally, they are actually my therapy, such that if they're taken away, I think I would be in a worse crisis than not having them taken away, if you know what I mean. Loriska says, once you go down the rabbit hole, you can never, yes, you can never. But we find comfort in this craft. This is aromatherapy. This is comforting to the mind. This is relaxing fragrances. That's what I'm talking about. They're relaxing, and therapy in itself should be like that, Charlotte said if you need a hug, spray. Exactly. If you need a hug, spray a fragrance, and if there's a way, it just snaps you up back, to your, to your best self. Patty Brown said, I refuse to count mine. I know I have a lot. Same here. I stopped counting because I said to myself, why should I? And the experience that fragrances, give you is just amazing, right? So we had sprayed, Luxe Journey on this blotter. Now this again utilizes that citrus note, which is the bergamot. Okay, in this case is bergamot, and then it gets into cassis, and then it has the lychee. That is the top of this fragrance. Now, citruses, guys, I'll never say justice to citruses because they're overused. However, it depends whether the citrus in itself becomes the note that the perfumer is drumming on, like will it hold up or it doesn't. In this citrus, the citrus note, which is that mandarin, rather, not bergamot, mandarin, okay, is used as a hook line again. Why? Because citruses have got that catch where they will grab your attention almost immediately in any fragrance, right? But why you need, of course, to give a fragrance time to transition is after those citruses, especially used at the top, it then starts to tell you what it's doing. Now in this, you're going to get the citrus, which is the mandarin. So it's going to have a sweet top. Mandarin working with the lychee, making this one fizzy, making this one sparkly, making this one even a little bit fresh. And then it gets into the florals. That's after like 10 minutes, this fragrance will get into the florals where it pushes forward those white florals and the peony, okay? This, to my nose, is a safe one for both men and women. The sweetness in this is moderate, but the florals in this introduce somewhat of a soapiness in this fragrance, right? Where that soapiness becomes the accord that both men or women can share this fragrance equally, claiming it. Okay, this draws inspiration of that Bond number 9 Nomad. Okay, so if you were one of those people that wanted to know what Nomad smells like, this is going to be Manolia says, I love this. Thank you. Manolia again says, I have been looking at those Maison Alhambra fragrances that you're reviewing. Wow, I'm happy this video is going to help. And then Tabitha said, fragrances calm my emotions. Yes, makes the two of us. And a lot of us here on this live, that's what fragrances are able to do. Manolia again says, yes, maceration is very important for all fragrances. Absolutely. This, as I said, is on this haul, but it's not new. I can definitely tell you that it's performing better than what it did when I got it initially, right? It's a sweetened embery scent. It's also fruity with that citrusy top, but one of those that are cleverly done in such a way that men or women, can wear this. That soapy accord ends up making it more masculine in a way, a little bit masculine than it is, feminine, because of that soapy accord. Because if you're a lady that loves the sweet, girly sweet, then as it gets soapy, you might find yourself unable to separate that masculine leaning accord about it, okay? But I can totally wear this. This is not a complete no to me. So yes, I do recommend it's a unisex one, right? It's going to be your nose that will tell you whether this is sweet enough to call it feminine or soapy enough to call it masculine, but it's right there in the middle, okay? Having that soapy out of the shower type of thing, and inspired, of course, by Bond number 9, Nomad, okay? Do I have questions? Manolia says, I agree. Tabitha says, I agree. And Kerry says, I have a thing.
I have it. I think it leans.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. Okay, so you have, that's another opinion there. They've said they think it leans masculine. And yeah, I did say that this, the soapy accord in this will make it such that for some people it will be more in line with masculine sense than it is feminine, but it does have a sweetness there, guys. Manolia says, have you tried the House of... No, I haven't tried Sensual Obsessions yet. But I am open to recommendations. My daughter is moderating this live. She usually captures, comments like that so that I can revisit them, because comments are not stored after the live. In the same, your name. We were arguing about your name the other time. Okay, so in the Alicia. Yeah. I'm going to call you Alicia. It's easier that way. Alicia supports this channel so much. Thank you so much, Alicia. There's some people that have been with me from the beginning. They have followed the journey. They were with me when I was ill. They know the upside downs. They know my home and stuff. And Alicia is one of those people. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for supporting the live. Okay, so that's it for this one. It's Luxe Journey. It's like Nomad.
The one you're thinking of is Luxe Chic. The one you decluttered.
Oh yes, yes. I decluttered Luxe Chic, and I regret until this day. I wish I hadn't decluttered Luxe Chic. Okay, let's talk about Luxe Street while we're at it, because this is another one that's making a comeback. This is my time here, but I'll be returned. Oh, okay, no problem. Thank you so much, Manolia. I love how you were very interactive. It also helps, you know, ensuring that the video is shown to a lot of people when there is interaction. You know, it always helps. So Luxe Street is not a new one, but it is included in this haul because I brought it to you some time ago, and I said I was going to come back with it and tell you my final thoughts. So this has also macerated a great deal. Now this gives off straight up masculine vibes, okay? This I think is a Lafayette Street clone, okay? But this is definitely a masculine centered scent, okay? It has the use of bergamot, but the bergamot in this is more on the zingy rind side, okay, than it is on the crisp side. There is a minty thing to this fragrance, and it's pretty much on the green side. It does have that Granny Smith apple, okay, but the apple in here just anchors on that greenness, making it feel happy Sunday to you, Rosie, as well. Hope you're enjoying yourself. Mont Blanc Legend, EDP is the best. Okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts. We appreciate that, Vedrika. Okay, this one has got that shower gel thingy. Okay, if you have used a lot, well, there is a common denominator in detergents, in detergents and soaps and shower gels and bubble bath and stuff, right? The common denominator in them, when we say a fragrance is soapy or it smells like out of the shower, we will be talking about that common denominator, the note that is used that's supposed to be gentle to everybody's nose, be, you know, shower gels, soaps and stuff usually have the addition of that note that is pretty much tolerable and likable by a lot of people, and it is that note that evokes a fresh accord, you know, that you know, signify like a freshness. Some of those notes are going to be lemon scented and stuff, and that's what I get in this fragrance, guys. A zinginess, a bergamot that's like the rind rather than the juice in itself. Is very intense, this fragrance. It also is on the green side, although it does have vanilla and stuff. That does not save it. It remains a green leafy fragrance. I believe they've also used tonka in this fragrance as a note, but the tonka is also green leaning. So this is mostly going to be an out of the shower masculine leaning scent, quite intense for summer. This will be, so this is going to be along the lines of those that you perhaps want to go easy on the spray. If you're spraying this one, you may want to go easy on the spray because it is intense, okay? But this Luxe Street, I can definitely say, is definitely on the masculine side. For those ladies on this live that would say, if it's masculine, I'm not gonna even go there. This is certainly masculine. It is not even giving me 50-50 type of situation. It is just masculine. There it is. And now Manolia says Sensual Obsessions has a clone of Andy Warhol from Bond #9. It's so amazing. Thank you. Manolia again said, what maison? What season are you? We are in, what is it, 4? Yeah, 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 yeah. We are in 4, we're in 4. So our seasons pretty much are like on the same, you know, on the same frequency with the United States. That's why most of my content is aligned with the seasons there. So, okay, that's Luxe Street. It's not my favorite. If I had to turn back time, I was going to declutter this one and keep my Luxe Blanc. But anyway, here I am searching for the same fragrances that I decluttered. I guess I should have been more patient. Okay. Now, the next one is going to be this one, Luxe Gold. Okay, Luxe Gold. I don't know why these fragrances didn't go viral. You know, whether there were limitations in exporting these fragrances, I have no clue. I'd have thought after Maison Alhambra gave us this line, especially, you know, inspiring a lot of a lot of Bond Number 9 fragrances, these were going to be, you know, snatched by a lot of people. But I don't see a lot of even creators talking about this fragrance and these fragrances. And for some reason, it could be maybe the packaging is not appealing. I don't know. Or Maison Alhambra in itself did not really distribute these ones so well. I don't know. So this is Luxe Gold, okay? And if you know me, you know I love the color gold. I love the color gold. This is one of those that has a few notes listed on the platform. This is what on Fragrantica. This is one thing I do not like about these bottles. They're very hard to spray. Okay, I can see a couple of people dropping these fragrances, not because they want to, but it's just awkward. Okay, so this one is the gold one. Okay, this kind of gives me hairspray vibes. That's the first thing that comes to mind. It does have the note of rose. It does have that tonka bean, you know, at the base. It has the woods as well as the musk, but there is a hairspray accord in this fragrance that's very hard to get past, okay, which makes it even difficult to then move on to the other notes, okay, that this fragrance has. It's not my favorite, to be honest. This is the Bond Number 9 that draws inspiration of Bond Number 9. Okay, Bond Number 9 has a fragrance called Bond Number 9, so that's this one. It's also going to come in a gold bottle, but this doesn't do much for me. Okay, Alicia says those are just getting to the US in Burlington. So, oh, all right, that's nice. And those are going for about 20-25 in the States. Great, at least, you know, because I was wondering why these fragrances are not filtering in. Kes says, I don't think the packaging is that attractive either. Yeah, I think they tried too hard. Maybe this could have worked if the bottle was smaller. If any one of you purchases this, you'll see how big and awkward it is. And the fact that it's diagonal like that, it's so weird. You really need to figure out an angle, and who has the time to, okay, I'm gonna spray this bottle at this angle. You know what I mean? Because, so it's weird. Okay, it's weird. I just wish maybe they should have just gone smaller, or they should have just dramatized the cap, but left everything normal. That would have been better. But of course, lined up in your cupboard or on your dresser, they would look really nice. Okay, I think they do look nice. So yeah, this is the one that draws inspiration of Bond Street. I have two Bond. Well, the other one is a sample, is a 5 ml. So I'll say I have 3, but I can talk about the full sizes. I only have 2 from Bond Number 9. I have Chinatown and I have New York. Okay, and all these fragrances I'm talking about now are not fragrances that I can compare to the originals, except the one I said draws inspiration of Greenwich Village. Okay, that's the one I have in a mini of. So what I'm giving to you now is I'm just telling you based on my nose, my thoughts, and perhaps I can also add on to say, would I buy the Bond 9, the actual Bond Number 9, based on what this one is suggesting that it will smell like? No. This is one fragrance that just pushes forward that hairspray thing. And when I say hairspray thing, I do get a bit of it in Zara's Red Temptation. You know, Red Temptation is a fragrance that draws inspiration of BR540, but there is a hairspray accord in that fragrance that if I went into any salon, that's what I get more. And that's what's happening with this fragrance. The hairspray accord, you can also get sometimes in hair relaxers. You know, if you're a lady and you relax your hair, okay, there is that thingy that when you're blowing your hair, it's there. Okay, I don't know whether it's a scent or it's the chemical that they use. That's what's prominent in this, more than the rose, more than the woods. maybe the tonka, yeah, and that's it. So this is not a favorite of mine. Love the bottle based on the color because I love gold. As I said, I love gold, so the bottle works for me, but the juice, not so much, for me. And I am happy to hear that these fragrances are actually filtering in, in the United States, because I was wondering why I couldn't get them at Beauty World. I didn't see them on display at Beauty World. And when I noticed that the shop where I buy the fragrances here had them, I was like, oh, great, that's perfect. Now, next up is going to be Decadent Wonder. This one is, I came with Decadent Dream, thinking I had bought this one. And then you guys clued me up and you said, no, the one you're looking for is Decadent Wonder. Decadent Dream, we have since decluttered. It draws inspiration of that Amouage guidance. Okay, not the 46, the regular Amouage. That is the Decadent Dream. But I decluttered it immediately when I smelled Maspo Ember by Khadlash, because that was a better take to that guidance DNA. Now, this one also draws inspiration of an Amouage, and in this case, I think it's Love Delight. Okay, so because I was on the hunt for this particular one, I felt the need to go through with purchasing it regardless, but it's not a fave, okay? It's an intense, heady floral. Just gonna spray it for you here. But I can see how it would work for some people, right? But this, to me, is not a safe blind buy. This, to me, is intense, okay? Remember I said some of the Maison Alhambras are not intense and said this one is intense. This one is heady, okay? It does have that ginger, spicy ginger in the opening, also has that mandarin in the opening, so it's going to give you like a that slap in the face, I'm here type of situation as it opens there, okay? But then it gets into the spices, and once it gets into the spicy like spicy mint, the florals come in, okay, with this fragrance. And I'm not sure whether it's the florals that then get into a push and pull with the booze, because the same fragrance then lists booze, lists cacao, okay, double dose of rose, does have the heliotrope, it does have the jasmine. So it becomes a fragrance that is conflicted in itself, like, as in, what are you trying to be, girl? Okay. Now, because this is an inspiration, what I can say is I perhaps wouldn't be the first one to rush and get the Amouage Love Delight, just based on what this one is doing and what I know Amouage fragrances to do, because Amouage fragrances, guys, are pushy, right? There are some fragrance brands that we have there that are very pricey, right? Creed being one of them, Amouage being one of them, Fragrance du Bois being one of them, right? And it's not to say every pricey fragrance house will deliver longevity, but I can outright tell you that Amouage tries, okay? Creed, not so much. They have hits or miss here and there in terms of lasting power, but Amouage tries, okay? Fragrance du Bois, don't even think about it, okay? They have fragrances that are pushy. So this one, I think, based on the vial, this one based on the vial that I have is really 80% similar. It's strong, it's pushy, it's heady, okay? It can also easily become too much of a good thing for some people because of a lot of pages. You can tell just by smelling this Decadent Wonder that it's drawing inspiration of a very complex fragrance. And that's what I get from this, is really complex. Manolia says, I'm starting to try some new feminine leaning fragrances, but only the gourmand ones. Yes, those will not disappoint you. Arabiat have got a sugar line that they have dropped. I have done a video of the sugar line, the long form content. I'm going to drop it on this channel. They have a lot of gourmands to choose from. Latafa also gave us the gourmand line. Paris Corner has got Ministry of Gourmand. So if you're looking for fragrances the gourmand ones, the Middle Eastern houses, gotcha. Zemaya has got a lot, not a lot, but they have like 3 or 4 gourmands. French Avenue and Fragrance World, oh my God, it was gourmand heaven at Beauty World. So if you're looking for gourmands, this is certainly the time to be checking the website. You're going to get a lot of gourmands. Even Maison Alhambra at Beauty World, I came across a lot of gourmands and I reviewed them for you guys. So anyone who's looking for gourmands, the Middle Eastern fragrance houses got them. Larishka says, I agree, Love Delight. Yes, Love Delight is beautiful. It's a beautiful scent. And in this, Maison Alhambra tried as much as they could, you know, although I don't know what's in this thingy. This fragrance is kind of heady to me. There is like a pushy floral, and it kind of feels like it's clashing with the booze. Okay, remember I said double dose of rose, and then it's got other florals, but there is a little bit of a clash there when it comes to what I am perceiving in this. But I do have a miniature of Love Delight, and I can say yes, this fragrance is a good representation of that. Manolia says, I'm so interested in Zemaya Tiramisu Coco. Okay, yeah, Tiramisu Coco is nice. It's a fragrance that draws inspiration of Mancera Amore Latte. That's a good one. It's a good one. Even the Tiramisu Caramel, the one that draws inspiration of Bianco Latte, that's a good one. And they have released Tiramisu Snooze. That's another good one. So don't sleep on Zemaya's, guys. If the price is right, purchase them. They are a house that makes pretty good, you know, fragrances. Just Floor says, I love Maison Alhambra Sugar Me. Yes, Candy Floss. And you can also try Dolce Laissez. That was a good one as well that I smelled at Beauty World. Nicely done, gourmand. Okay, Manolia is asking Just Floor. So Just Floor will probably answer that. Rosie Field said, I smelled Love Delight in store and I liked it, but it was only one spray. The Maison Alhambra was too much for me. So yeah, you know, you are picking the differences. I am also picking the differences where this is a little bit too busy for me, okay? A little bit too busy, push and pull. It's conflicted in what it's trying to do. It is a fragrance, a good one. It's a long-lasting fragrance, but it's really like trying too hard, where outright it just asserts itself there as beastly, okay, like beast mode. This is just 2 or 3 sprays. Now I can imagine if I had done maybe 20, this is gonna last through the whole day. But if you wore this, let's say in the heat, you might find it doing a little bit too much. But yes, it is a good one if you're looking for love, a clone to Love Delight. This is certainly one that I would recommend. Kerry said those Luxe fragrances are on Amazon. That's where I bought mine. Nice. So check them out on Amazon, guys. You can purchase them off Amazon. I'm not being sponsored. These I purchased with my own money. I am just showing you and telling you my thoughts because I noticed that these, for some reason, did not go viral. They're not new releases because I got my Luxe Blanc and the other one about 5 months ago. So I was wondering why Maison Alhambra's distribution on this is on the slow side. So we have Luxe Bold, okay? Luxe Bold. Remember to like and share the live, okay? We're gonna have long form content of this because not everyone is able to join the live. So why I'm doing lives as well as regular content is Alicia says, I love you too much, girl. I love you too. Love you so much. Thank you for the support. Why I'm doing both the lives and the regular content is some people don't have the time to sit through the lives. And then some people, you know, will prefer regular content. And as I described earlier in the video, when you're purchasing fragrances with your own money, because of this hobby, you know, no one is forcing me, no one is sending me. I absolutely love to smell a lot of different fragrances. They're my coping mechanism. They're my therapy, okay? So I'm not saying I'm wasting any money. I'm just saying the long form content is monetized before the video is sent out there because YouTube has got this thingy where the algorithm is able to check whether there's copyright, whether the content is right, whereas the lives do not get monetized immediately because YouTube sometimes holds them for even 10 hours with reading through what the live was all about. So with the lives, the monetization is mostly in gifting via super thanks, super chat, or super stickers. That is the difference. However, as I promised, going forward, I will be doing lives as well as long form content so that we both get to just talk one-on-one. You can ask questions, you can ask me to re-smell a fragrance for you, you can ask some of the questions that you would not otherwise be able to ask on long form content, because I would have done the review already and I'll be gone. So this one is Luxe Bold. Okay, this one is Luxe Bold. It is the green one, okay, which is this, okay, this one. And again, it's drawing inspiration of the Bond number 9s, right? So this is how it's gonna look. We're gonna waste a couple of sprays and then I'm gonna tell you my thoughts on Luxe Bold. Okay, Luxe is the line itself. So if I keep on saying Luxe, I'm talking about the line. Now you see, we have to strategize. Now it's looking like a, like a little pistol or something like that. So this is how you'd spray it. Weird, okay. But anyway, we move. I'm pretty sure there's nothing that can be done about that. And some people will absolutely love this, okay? I might not be a fan of this, but some people would definitely love this. Okay, this is a burst of grapefruit and that black currant. That's what you're going to get at the top of this fragrance. So again, we are utilizing the citruses in this, just like a lot of other fragrance houses would. Remember I said citruses are the hook line. That's what's going to stimulate you into loving the fragrance or not. So they're the hook line in the sense that they do not hold for long. If you want citruses to hold in a fragrance, you then have to gang them up with some greens. So you're going to get a burst of that grapefruit, right at the top of this fragrance. This one draws inspiration of that Bond number 9 New York musk, right? So there is going to be that fruitiness in this fragrance, and then a floralness in this fragrance, and then there's going to be a waxiness in this fragrance. That is the saving grace for this fragrance. If they hadn't put that waxy accord in it, perhaps it wasn't going. It's not a favorite, but it's tolerable because it kind of has like a cashmere waxy thing about it. And it also has sort of like an apricot accord in it coming off, I think it was mentha. It's not really apricot used directly there. So it becomes a fruity, spicy, musky scent with an underlying woodiness of sandalwood, okay? And this is the sandalwood that would, for some, feel like a, what you call it, like there is this, it gives it like a pickle feel, like a green, a combination of like a pickled, even pickled gherkin, something like that. There's a pickle accord, okay, in this fragrance. So it's nice, but it can also vibe as a little strange. It's gentle, it's not pushy. It's gentle, it's not pushy. And now there is like a minty menthol accord to this. Okay, so yeah, that's what I can say, guys, about this. Manola says, my girlfriend told me to find a hobby, so I joined the fragrance community 3 years ago, and now she says I'm doing too much. And then Alicia says, if you're happy, it's good. Okay, she's answering Manolia. Yeah, this fragrance thing can become a coping mechanism for a lot of people, myself included, okay? I find joy in sniffing different juices, in going through different collections, in looking forward to new releases, in, spraying a particular fragrance or fragrances on me and having them put me in a certain type of mood. There are some fragrances that I have in my collection where I know, no, today I'm not going to do this one because it's just going to make things worse, as in how I'm feeling. And there are some fragrances that I would say, oh yeah, I feel like spraying this one. Lemon Sorbet by Arabiette, of their Arabiette Sugar line, is one of those fragrances that just lightens up my mood. I enjoy it. I just find myself, spraying it over and over again. I could spray it going to bed. It's so comforting to me. So yes, fragrances are therapeutic. Of course, if the habit is such that you are using mortgage money, you're using college fees for your kids, then yes, an intervention would definitely be needed. But I will always be on the side of understanding why people love fragrances and collecting fragrances, because I'm one of those, that finds a lot of comfort in smelling different fragrances. Manolia says it's still in the 80s here, so I'm still wearing my fresh. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah, this would be a nice one if you enjoy grapefruit, if you enjoy citrusy scents, fresh scents, that sort of thing. This one pulls also a little bit masculine. Okay, so in conclusion, I can say the Luxe Blanc and the Luxe Blanc.
Luxe Chic.
The Luxe Blanc, which I decluttered, the Luxe Chic, one of those drawing inspiration of Nolita, and the other one drawing inspiration of Tribeca, and the green one, which is this one, the Luxe Emerald. Is it? Yeah, these would be the best for the ladies. The other three that I came with, buy them if you love your fragrances with a masculine tone about them. Okay, Carrie Brown says, I love what you do. No, it's the code. I love that you do the lives. Please continue. Yes, I will certainly continue doing the lives, guys, because I did notice that some people prefer to have a Q&A, and lives are the channel that can allow us to interact like this. If you have questions, you can ask. And if you want me to give you my suggestion on a particular fragrance, I can do that on the live. So yeah, guys, we are about to close. That was the last one of the Maison Alhambras. I decided to split the video into two. I'm going to do a part 2 of the Maison Alhambras. And before, we all need an obsession. Yes, Kes. Everyone has a vice, okay? Just make sure that you are not hurting people in the process of feeding or, feeding your vice or whatever. So fragrances, I find, Edineza says, hi. Thank you so much for joining the live. Have you tried Jamana? No, I haven't. And this is a question from, yeah, is it Filipino? Jalapeno. I cannot see because there's a cable in front of me. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining the live. Hit the like button, share the live. Yes, we all have a vice, guys. Just make sure it is a healthy one. Just make sure it is not one that will get you in trouble with the law. Just make sure it is not the one that will hurt people around you. Be kind, be loving. It takes nothing. I don't even understand some people that are just outright nasty out there. It takes 0 of your time to be kind. We are all going through one thing or the other. So it takes absolutely nothing to just add some kindness, to somebody's life. Being miserable and drawing people into one's misery is a shame, really. And, being a woman of a more mature age, like myself, I look sometimes at what people do. I'm not big on commenting. I mind my own business, but I'm like, really, if only these people knew, that a little bit of kindness is all this world needs. And if we were all like that, it would be fantastic. However, some of us are not like that. Some people are in their spaces and using the keyboard as their armor. So you always have keyboard warriors out there who, when confronted, even with a roach, they cannot even kill a roach, but they're quick to, say all sorts of nasty things. And we can only pray for those people. So guys, in closing, we're going to have a part 2. Manolia says, what are you looking to pick up next? I sniffed a few of that sugar line from Arabiette that I'm going to buy, maybe 4 or 5. From Maison Alhambra, I am waiting maybe to add that Dulce de Lucier once it is available. From Latafa, the Banoffee, I don't mind adding that to my collection. But right now in my country, it's going for about $60. But once it goes down, I think I could add that to my collection. That's a nice one. What else? Even the Nebras, the Elixir, that's a nice one. The New Yara, the Eclair, that's a nice one. Yeah, so those are fragrances that I could pretty much add to my collection. And I'm talking in a few days, okay? In a few days, as soon as those fragrances filter in my country, I'm definitely grabbing them. Houses like Latafa are no longer prioritizing launching some of these fragrances in Africa. It's now sort of like, the US coming back. Whereas in the beginning it was you'd get them in Africa, then they filter there. So now I've noticed it's mostly from there to here. And I'm okay with buying them off websites like Joma Shop, Yara Clay, that was a nice one. It felt like a fusion of the candy and the regular Yara, but I just loved how, it was to my nose, it was good. So I would add that. From the cupcake line that they did, I did a full review of those. Nothing was striking. When it comes to the gourmands, I would definitely say Zimaya has got good ones. Zimaya gave us, I think it's Peach Please. Smells like Peach Delulu, but it has this concentration that I absolutely love. Peach Delulu is off the Paris Corner line. Did you sniff Paris Corner, Ishal? Yes, I did. It's a toasty, spicy vanilla. It's a hit or miss. You may want to try it first, unless you love, that spiky, toasty, even a little bit underlying smoky vanilla, but it draws inspiration of Keali's Vanilla 28. Latafa Dynasty is great. Saint Magnolia Dynasty, did we try Dynasty? I can't remember, guys. There's so many fragrances. I can't remember, but yeah, we did. Yeah, that one was nice. Luriska says, can't wait for Swiss Arabian Vanilla 01 to come in SA. Yes, Vanilla 01. You know what, Luriska? I'm actually conflicted whether I should buy it off Joma Shop or wait for Yusuf to stock it, because I know Yusuf is gonna, is gonna have it. Oh yeah, Dynasty, we have tried, definitely. I did a review of Dynasty, yeah. I know Yusuf is going to stock it at Oriental Plaza in Volksburg, but I am not sure when, right? I've seen it on other websites in the US and I'm thinking, should I just buy it off them? Swiss Arabian had promised to send me PR, but they didn't. So I'm not going to fuss about that. I love the brand. Nonetheless, they don't owe me anything. I'm the one who loves their fragrances. So I don't mind buying, that Vanilla 01. The reason why I actually asked for PR was last year they gave me PR without asking. So this year I thought they were going to do the same. And they said, no, we have limited numbers, so we don't have, but we'll mail it to you. So I could buy it. If it shows up, it shows up. I'll have a second bottle. I will sell that. If not, I will buy it. Vanilla 01. Guys, that's a beautiful fragrance, okay? I've heard a lot about Vanilla Penifolia or something by Curlane, and that other vanilla by, is it Riffs or Gulf Orchid? Which company did that? The controversial one. I haven't smelled those. I did not even smell them at Beauty World, but the one vanilla, okay, and by this I mean I haven't smelled the Guerlain vanilla, okay, the planifolia, haven't smelled that one, haven't smelled the dupes of it, but I have smelled Vanilla 01. And that's an amazing scent. That is a beautiful scent. I don't know whether it's an inspiration or not, and I don't care. I love that fragrance. Kela says, hi Sissy, I remember it seemed that you liked December Amber. What did it remind you of? Okay, December Amber is not a fragrance that reminded me of anything. However, it has that uniqueness in it because it's got the use of leather and suede and amber. It's very ambery, okay? Making it such that it does not bring out anything really except being a woody, spicy scent, which or Maison Asra, yes. I haven't smelled that. I didn't smell it at Beauty World. So I am talking based on just what I smelled, which was the Vanilla 01, and I'm looking for that one. Okay, back to this. Was it December Amber? I get myself confused. Was it December Amber or it was Amber?
December Amber.
Okay, if you're talking about December Amber from Paris Corner, yes. It's got it's supposed to have apricot or peach or something, but it just becomes a spicy, leathery, ambery scent, okay? It is also a bit woody, but it's not distinct in what it's doing exactly. It ends up being a fragrance not in the same not a clone of, but a fragrance like Ganymede. You know, with Ganymede, you know you're wearing a fragrance, but what are you wearing? What are you smelling of? Something like that. That's kind of what December Amber does. It's got a caramel note, but the caramel is just adding sort of like a dull sweetness to it. I still have it this minute, but it's not a favorite of mine. It's not that memorable. I don't enjoy it that much. And say, for instance, somebody wanted it, I would give them without even missing anything, you know, whereas with vanilla, I wouldn't. With the other Swiss Arabian Amber one, I also wouldn't. And how the Swiss Arabian Amber one is different from the Amber Vanilla by Paris Corner is that one almost had like a gourmand thing about it without it being a gourmand. So I hope that helps. It's not a bad fragrance. If you're tired of these fruity floral scents, you can go ahead and get yourself December Vanilla. It's going to be a different scent profile in the mix. Somebody did put in the comment section what it's inspired by. I have forgotten. I haven't smelled that fragrance, so I don't know. But in itself, doesn't shoot to my favorites. In fact, my favorites of the December line from Paris Corner remains that patchouli one. That one I still love. That vanilla patchouli something. That December, there's December Amber, December Rose, and December Vanilla. Yeah, December Vanilla still, is up there as my favorite, although it's also a tricky one. So yeah, somebody says a vanilla gang. X-Sandal is a vanilla gangster. Yes, that one has a note of cannabis. It also has chocolate and vanilla. That's a nice one, but I don't know whether, I think it had 50-50 mixed reviews, but that's a good one from Aromatics. That's a good one. Kerry says, what Arabian houses have the best performing fragrances with projection and sillage? Okay. Projection, sillage, Swiss Arabian, definitely. Latafa, definitely. But with Latafa, you need to get the leads because Latafa tends to put out a lot out there. So sometimes some of them maybe so-so and some will be good. But Latafa, yes, is generally good. I like the fact that you can get Latafas worldwide. Paris Corner also has a few jams, but you will need also, again, to get leads as to which ones because they're not really like they're not focused on punch, like punchy fragrances, but you will get like random ones that are good. Keali, of course, if you don't mind the price. No, but Keali, I wouldn't say really has fragrances that projects, but the quality is good. Okay, so if you're looking at the affordable ones, then definitely Swiss Arabian, try Al Haramain, try Rasasi. I regret, yes, Amaf, I regret up to this day not going into Rasasi at Beauty World. You know what? I was doing lives and we kept on being pushed and pulled, whatever, like go there. And I remember passing by Rasasi, and when Denise said, did you go to Rasasi? I was like, oh, and that was the last day. I was already at the hotel. I hadn't gone there, but I know Rasasi has got good ones as well. Deriska says, Arabian Oud, my perfume select, Swiss Arabian, have some beast mode. Yes, those are great. Arabian Oud, I cannot fault Arabian Oud. They're one of the best out there. And I love the fact that Arabian Oud is not in with the pressure, which is something that we're seeing in the fragrance industry. Arabian Oud, Swiss Arabian, even Rasasi, okay, they're not really pushy when it comes to new releases and stuff. And because of that, they seem to have the time to really put out there certain gems that some of us that would be in a hurry to get fragrances will miss. Okay, so those houses I'll always recommend. They may be a little bit pricey, but if you wait it out, the quality is usually good because they're not in a hurry. They're not trying to keep up. They're not trying to, make sure that they flood the market. So certainly Arabian Oud. And another thing I respect about Arabian Oud was, the time I started reaching out to brands for PR, okay, I never got positive responses from most of the brands, right? Some did respond. Paris Kona sends me PR. Arabiette did send me PR at some point, French Avenue. Latafa, not so much. With Arabian Oud, they responded by saying they don't do PR, okay, because they don't advertise their brand or their fragrances, which I found a good business strategy actually, because that is a brand that's not trying to keep up. That is a brand that costs what it costs. You buy it if you love it. If you don't, you don't. Okay, that is a brand whose quality is great, and that is a brand that's just doing its own thing, which is beautiful because with so much going on, sometimes it can even overwhelm the consumer, as in, how do I even keep up because there's so much going on? So when there are brands that are doing the same thing, like they are making fragrances, but they're not so much in a hurry. It kind of is a welcome thing based on what is happening in the fragrance industry, where it's fragrance after fragrance after fragrance. So anyway, I hope I have answered you. Try Swiss Arabian. They have good fragrances that are long lasting, especially those bottles of theirs, the Vanilla 01 bottle. They're good. Even the Shahav line is good. Okay. Generally, the Swiss Arabian fragrances are good. Amaf is good as well, especially if you try the Club de Nuit line of Amaf. Not necessarily the Otzi line. The Otzi line is the fun bottles that look like little cups and stuff. Those ones tend to be a hit or miss when it comes to lasting power. Afnan is another good one. Okay. They have fragrances that smell really good. Afnan is also a house that gives us inspirations, but their inspirations sort of come after some of these inspirations have come. Whether it's a marketing thing or it's a deliberate thing, I don't know. And when their take of the fragrance comes, it kind of comes, almost fixing whatever it is that the other inspirations were lacking in. I don't know how Amaf does it, whether it's a coincidence, but I've noticed that where you get an inspiration, let's say Queen of Silk. We got Avant Silk from Maison Alhambra. I'm now loving that fragrance. I even loved it from the onset, but it was squeechy. And then I got Afnan, the Afnan version, and I was like, this is nice, so Afnan has got that. Then we got the D&G Devotion clones. And we had the Victoria by Latafa with this, with that, they were all cloning the Devotion. And then Afnan just nonchalantly gave us Delicious Bouquet. And it was like that. So yeah, Afnan is a good one. Very good one, okay? Rosie Field said the Club de Nuit Precious is, yes, Club de Nuit, that line is so good. I don't know who is in charge of the Club de Nuit line, but it's amazing. I know it's the same company. I mean, Amaf, Sterling, it's the same company. Sterling, I think, is the mother company, and then there's Amaf and stuff. It's the same company, but I find that the quality of the Club de Nuit ones is up there. Rasasi Victory for Women and Celesta Bangers, thank you so much for the suggestion, Charlotte. Those suggestions help, people to make a decision to purchase. Now, in conclusion, guys, I'm going to do a part 2 of the Maison Alhambra haul, but we're gonna leave it at this now. Remember, Black Friday we are offering Proud Mary at 45% off. We were holding out, selling off the Proud Mary fragrances as a whole because we hadn't managed to fix the international shipping. So Proud Mary for a while was available just in the United States. So to balance things out, we made sure that as Macedon perfumes, we don't get to sell out just in the United States. So now we have international shipping. We have partnered with My US, and you can get this fragrance anywhere in the world. Maima has got a short video that she has done on Proud Mary on how you can purchase it off our website and get it shipped by My US. My US offers tax-free. My US is tax-free, okay, of the fragrances from the United States. You pay no tax. And also they offer the best shipping rates, nothing that you can compare to DHL or FedEx and stuff. Luriska said you won't regret it. Proud Mary's. Thank you so much. And Luriska was one of the very first people to grab a bottle in South Africa. I appreciate the support, sis. You are so amazing. It means a lot for a small business, to get the support. We are just there. We're not yet even crawling, and anyone who supports this business is doing so much in ensuring that the brand becomes something bigger, something that will be able to give back, something that will emancipate and start. That's the whole point of Macedon perfumes, because I know being in the space and not having support, I'm talking about support from the big brands. I know how it feels like. So this is something that the whole, what drives Macedon perfumes, or what will be the driving force in Macedon perfumes in the future, would be to give opportunities to some of the creators out there that seem to be talking and not being heard, to also be able to help outside just the perfume space. That is what we stand, for as Macedon perfumes. It's not just what we can get, it's also what we will be able, to give, right? The pricing is because we, as I said earlier, as a brand, are focused on something premium, and also we are a small brand. Macedon perfumes is not a huge brand, so our numbers are small, our batches are small, the quality is good. We are working in consultation with perfumers that have also created really good creations out there. As I said, the compounds for Proud Mary were put together in France. It was then manufactured in the UAE. This is 120 ml. It's an extrait de parfum, and we only made 2,500 bottles. So if you haven't gotten yourself this fragrance, especially maybe because you could not get it based on which country you are in, now you can get it because we have international shipping. And the cherry on top is, for Black Friday, we are offering that C15, which will always be there, okay, even after Black Friday. C15, which is my code, capital letter C, small letter EE, and then 15 will knock off 15% off this fragrance. But for Black Friday through Cyber Monday, you are going to get a further 30% off, making it 45% off. So anyone buying this fragrance around that time will have it for a steal. After Black Friday and Cyber Monday, Proud Mary goes back to full price, which is $149. This fragrance's price will stay that way. because that is exactly what it's worth, if you know what I mean. So it's not going to go below that. But of course, for Black Friday, we are giving that huge discount, and I believe that's going to be good news, especially for anyone who hadn't gotten, you know, this fragrance, for anyone who was having a problem getting this fragrance shipped to them. It's available. After Black Friday, I spoke to you know, my partner, that we will leave a few aside that are going to be there on the website as and when necessary, because this is our flagship fragrance. But I cannot guarantee how long they're going to be there on, because this is a limited release and we're not going to make another one. So once those are gone, they're gone. But if you miss purchasing this on Black Friday, then remember, it goes back to full price. Yes, my promo code will still be usable, the C15, but it will be at full price, which is $149. So if you can grab this fragrance, you know, while it's discounted. On your shop link, I only get US delivery. Okay, if you go on the website, if you want international delivery, get this off www.macedonperfumes.com. Okay, www.macedonperfumes.com. I did not know that they hadn't fixed the link on YouTube. I will find out if the technical team can fix that. But I know for a fact on www.macedonperfumes.com, you can go on that website, click on the bar that says international shipping there, and then follow prompts. You can get this in any part of the world, Africa, wherever you are, you will get this. Hey, you have any tea-based fragrances? Nibs, Tease Me. Okay, Aromatic Nib has got a good tea fragrance. It's called Tease Me. Maison Alhambra Eclat Duo. Okay, not this one. I just picked this one to remind myself of the Eclat. Eclat Duo is a fragrance that draws inspiration of Lavigne's Eclat de Pêcher, and that's a tea fragrance. Okay, that is a tea fragrance. So yeah, if you're looking for a good tea fragrance, you could try Tease Me, my Aromatics. And Aromatics now has his fragrances in 30 mls. I don't know whether they're available immediately, but I saw a couple of 30 mls bottles, which makes it even, you know, easier on the pocket, where the fragrance brand has got the miniature, so you can purchase that as a miniature. Or if they're not yet available, you could wait it out, because Aromatics fragrances, I believe, ship to most parts of the world. But that was a very good green leafy tea fragrance. I'm going to take just 2 comments and we will close it, guys. Have you heard of Bouvari Pour Homme Soir? Maybe seen the bottle, but never smelt it. So I wouldn't be able to say anything about that. Probably seen the bottle, because trust me, I'm always looking for fragrances, but have never smelled that before. I have smelled Bessiami. I love that one, but that's it. Latafa Dynasty has a great, okay, great. So Latafa Dynasty, yes, oh yes, yes. You know why Latafa Dynasty is not too memorable to me is because I came with it in a vial form. You can get decants of High G scent, guys. I don't know why I keep forgetting. High G scent, okay. Paula is amazing. She is behind the brand High G scent. They sell decants. If you are overwhelmed by the releases and you want to try them out first, try High G Scent. It's www.highgscent.com. They will sell you vials. I think it's 3 to 5 ml or 10 mls, but they have vials there and you can test out a fragrance. So the reason why Dynasty is not a fragrance that's sticking to me, and as much as I have it, is because it was a decant. But yes, now that you mention it, Magnolia, yes, it is a beautiful tea note scent. Dynasty by Latafa. You should try oh, it's gone. I don't know. I don't know what it was saying. Okay, so that's it, guys. We can call it a wrap. Thank you so much for joining the live. Thank you for liking the live. Share the live We are going to save the live for anybody who may have missed this live, but I'm going to call it a day because remember, I'm going to come back with a part 2 of the Maison Alhambras, as well as a part 2 or a part 1 of the Arabiat Sugar. Is it? Arabiat Sugar 9. I'm going to bring them here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, Floor. Thank you, Dee. Love you, love you. I'll check the messages. Thank you, Charlotte. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you, Rosie. See you soon. Love you guys. Thank you for supporting the live. Thank you for liking the live and sharing. Thank you for the super thanks. I appreciate you guys.